When I add a cabinet in the ToneMaster Pro, there's things that I have to do every single time. In my day job, if I repeat something more than once, it's a sign that it needs to be automated. As of firmware version 1.3.74, the Fender team added a new feature called block settings, which allows you to basically make a preset from any block in the ToneMaster Pro. That includes speaker cabinets, which means that you can save and recall a default setup or a specific configuration. Let's dive into the ToneMaster Pro Control app, and I'll show you what I mean. So one of the cabinets that I assume is used quite a lot is the 4x12 British Greenback. So I'm going to add this in the app. You can see now on screen there's just a speaker cabinet. When I click on this cabinet, you can see the settings, and it has a low-cut filter set to 20 Hz, a high-cut filter set to 20 kHz, and then a dynamic RE20 mic set to 2 inches off the cap edge. That's not usually my default setup, so what I'm going to do now is change some of these settings, explain why I'm changing them, and then I'm going to show you how you save them as a preset within the cabinets. So the first thing I usually do is change the low cut from 20 Hz. Usually that will interfere with bass frequencies as well as maybe some of the drum kit, so you don't really need to have this set so low. I usually set it at around 90 to begin with. So let's do that now. That's 90 Hz. The high cut in this speaker cabinet is set to 20 kHz, which is way too high. If you Google specific speakers, you can find out their frequency range. And in fact, a Greenback is 75 to 5 kHz. So anything above 5 kHz isn't really being true to the original speaker. Having said that, I don't usually go as low as 5, but you can. Okay, so that's set to 6.5 kHz as a starting guide. You can always change that later on. Next is the mic. The standard mic for decades recording guitar has been the SM57. So I'm going to change this and set it to the SM57. And I'm going to put it 1 inch on cap edge. So that's my starting point for this particular block setting that I'm going to save. I can recall this at any time, remember, and I can change the settings that I've got in here once they're loaded into a preset. But first thing I need to do is go down to block settings, save block preset, and I'm just going to call this SM57. Hit save, and now that's saved when you go in to add a new cabinet. So if I go to replace, so now you'll see when you want to add a new cabinet, you have the SM57 as a block setting that will have your saved settings whenever you click on that and hit confirm. So knowing that, we can now set up different mics that you would use with the same cabinet. So let's change the SM57 to a Ribbon R121. Hit confirm. I'm going to leave everything else as is. Save the block preset and call that R121. Hit save. And finally, I'm going to add one more mic default, which is the MD421, and leave everything the same. Save block preset, MD421. So now when I want to add the Greenback speaker, I already have these 3 mics set up and ready to go. So it at least saves one stage, and potentially, if you're not going to mess around with the low and high cut, it saved you a lot of time. You maybe just want to change the position of the mic. So let's say I'm setting up a new preset. I want to use the British Jubilee amp. I want the Greenback 4x12 speaker cabinet, and I want to use the SM57 and a Ribbon mic. This is how I would do it. Go to Instrument, change to Instrument Parallel 1, hit confirm. Now you can set 2 different speaker cabinets. So let's start with cabinets, 4x12 British Greenback, SM57, confirm, drag that to the top, add another speaker cabinet, again click on the Greenback, R121, hit confirm, drag it to the bottom. So now when you click on this top cabinet, you'll see I have the SM57 on axis, 90 Hz low cut, 6.5 kHz high cut. Click on the second one, and I have the Ribbon R121 and the same settings. So that's how simple it is just to add new configurations to your cabinets, and will save you a little bit of time, hopefully. So not all the cabinets are set up with those defaults that the Greenback cab had. You can see here the British G65 actually has a low cut of 85 Hz by default and 10.5 kHz high cut, and it also has the SM57 on the cap edge. The Mega V30, you can see It has a low cut of 125 hertz and a high cut of 4.4 kilohertz. It's taken all the top end out of that particular cab model. But it has a dynamic SM7B on the cone, which personally, I would never start with that mic. So again, this is a case where you could just say, well, I want it to be the SM57. I know that I'm going to use the cap edge because it's already quite dark sounding, and therefore you can go change that, save it as your SM57 block preset, hit save, and now you can just recall that whenever you want. I hope you found this ToneMaster Pro tips video useful, and if you did, please hit the like button to let me know, and I'll make more content like this.